Obviously, there is so much stuff to unlock in Jedi Survivor, especially compared to Fallen Order. It's one of the biggest improvements to the entire game in my opinion, and today we're going to be going through 8 of the best early unlocks that you guys can find. These are all relatively early game, within probably the first 5 or 6 hours of playtime, and to be honest, most of these are actually available within realistically an hour or two. So there's a lot of cool stuff in here, and without wasting any time, we're going to get stuck right into it. Now, the first one I had to show is something that, being an Aussie, this had to be a part of this video. Obviously, there is a mullet in Jedi Survivor. Now, this is essentially my headcanon now that Cal rocks a mullet. And if you guys want to get your own mullet, then I'm going to show you guys exactly where it is. Now, this is actually pretty much on the main path, and it is almost directly as you get to Kobo. Pretty much within the first 10 or 15 minutes of actually arriving on Kobo, you guys can find the mullet. This area here, known as the Derelict Dam, is where you guys can find the mullet. If you simply jump onto this wall here with the vines on it, make your way to the top of that and take out the battle droid and the Bedlam Raider that are up there. From there, if you look directly ahead, you can see some pipes, and all you need to do is jump along those pipes until you get to this sort of little island area. From there, you want to jump out onto this floating block, and then you want to quickly jump onto the grate here to climb up to the very top of this little island. And in this chest, you will find that mullet. So head on over and grab this, equip it immediately, and join me in the mullet revolution for Cal Kestis. Now, moving on to the next one on the list. This one is actually a health stim, and there are a few of these actually in this video. Some of these are very early on in the game. Now, this one is actually so early on that it is in the very first mission that actually takes place on Coruscant. So what I will say is, if you've already passed this part and you haven't actually progressed far enough through the story, unfortunately you can't go straight away back to Coruscant. So if you did miss this one, unfortunately you will just kind of have to wait a little bit later in the game. But if you are still on Coruscant, or if maybe you haven't even started the game yet, this one is definitely for you. Now, at a certain point throughout the story, this is literally impossible to miss because it is part of the main path that you have to take for the story. You will get to this area where you fall down onto essentially a big conveyor belt full of massive lumps of meat. Now, from here you will then get to this area, and there is a meditation point right there. Instead of going to that meditation point, you want to simply jump up this wall just here. There will be a KX series droid defending this area. You simply just need to take that out, and then behind where that KX droid is, you will find the first stim canister in the game. So this one is definitely very handy to have. Unfortunately, like I said, if you've missed this one and you aren't on Coruscant at the moment, you won't be able to get this until a little bit later on in the game when you do get to go back to Coruscant, but even then it is worth knowing anyway. Now, the next thing you can unlock is the long beard customization for Cal. I definitely know a lot of people have been running the beard with Cal. It definitely suits him. He feels like he has grown up quite a bit, and he feels definitely a bit more rugged than he was in the first game. So if you guys want to get your hands on the beard, you simply just need to go to the Southern Reach meditation point, and this one is pretty close actually to where I mentioned the mullet haircut is. From here, you will just need to head down to the left there. When you see this little stable area where there is actually a Neko as part of the storyline, you just want to jump up on top of this area where you can find a chest, and in that chest will be the beard customization. Now, the next one is yet another stim, and this one is also very early on in the game. It is a little bit off the beaten path, so it is actually fairly easy to miss this. But over here in the Basalt Rift, this is pretty much when you're on your way to the Forest Array. If you head left up this little path here, you will come to a little sort of mini boss fight against this Mogu, which is, in my headcanon, a bushwhopper. Now, simply try and take out this Mogu. They can be pretty tough depending on what difficulty you're on, but once you take him out, you want to use this wall run here to get up onto this top level. From here, instead of heading up that little path to the left, if you just head down through the right, you will find this next stim canister in the yellow chest, and there you guys have yet another stim. Now, moving on to the third stim, this one is actually probably the easiest one in the game to get. Once you've progressed far enough in the story, which is again pretty early on in the Kobo section of the game, if you've met Doma Dendra, you will have obviously unlocked her essentially a little store, and all you need to do is save 10 priorite shards and use them at that store to buy this mysterious key code. Now, once you've done that, there will be a door to the left of where Doma is. That will then open up, and once you go in there, you will find yet another stim. Like I said, this is the easiest one in the game to find because it's literally right next to Pyloon Saloon. And yes, you do have to find 10 priorite shards, but to be honest, you get them very easily early on in the game. All you need to do is essentially explore Kobo, and you will definitely find them floating around in different areas of the planet. Now, next up we have a really awesome outfit, and it's actually the one that I used in the thumbnail for this video. So if you did click on the video, I'm going to assume you guys are interested in this outfit. Now, there are 3 separate parts to it. There's also the materials which is needed in order to change the colors of the actual outfit, and I'm going to show you where each of these are. Now, keep in mind, some of these are actually a little bit later in the game. You have to have certain skills to get some of them, but some of the actual parts are very early on. So you might not be able to fully customize this outfit straight away, but the good part is if you get some of these parts early, you can still rock the outfit, and then later on you'll be able to come back and get these extra parts and actually change the colors and stuff like that. Now the first one is actually pretty close to where I just talked about the second Stim and the Mogu battle. Instead of heading up to the left, you want to head down to the right on that pathway. You'll have to climb across some vines and take out a few stormtroopers, and then you will come to this little boss fight against the Bylmore. Now once again, these can be a little bit difficult to kill, but they're not too hard at the end of the day. So take this guy out. In his little like cave there, you will find a chest that needs BD1 to actually open it, and in there will be one of the parts. Now keep in mind the order of these is going to be different depending on which order you do them in. The way that they work in this game is that essentially the first part of each outfit, I believe, is the same for everyone, no matter which of the chests you find them in. So if there's 5 chests that contain the hunter outfits, for example, they aren't actually set in their own chests. The first chest you get from those 5 will just be the first part of that outfit, if that makes sense. So I can't guarantee what you guys are going to get depending on which one you guys have unlocked so far, but all these chests I show you guys will contain each of these parts. Now the next one is found at the forest array, and again you will have to have progressed to this part of the story. It is pretty early on. At the meditation point there, if you head to the left, you can kind of see off the beaten path there that there is a grapple point. Now obviously for this part you will need the grapple, so just keep that in mind. It might be a little bit later on for some of you guys, but all you need to do is jump over onto this area, at which point you will find a second chest, and that will contain the second part of the hunter outfit. Now not too far from here as well, there is the third part of the outfit, and you pretty much have to go here for the actual main path of the main storyline. So this one is almost impossible to miss. It does take a little bit of traversal, as you guys can see here. I will show you the path to get there. Depending on if you have the mid-air dash, you can actually sort of cheat the system a little bit here and just get around the side a bit easier. But this area just before another Bylmore fight is where you guys are going to find the third part of the hunter outfit. Now the next one is actually on pretty much the highest point you can get to on the, I guess, main area of Kobo. I've seen some people say that you actually need to be able to use the grapple points to get here. You do not actually need that. All you need to do is run up to this little section here that I'll show you guys on the map, and you can actually just jump up there instead of needing those grapple points. Once you're up here, if it is your first time coming here, there will be a Garocco guarding the area, so just be aware of that. They are pretty hard to kill at times, but just behind that there will be yet another part of the hunter outfit, and to be fair, a lot of you probably will have already found this area, so you may already have this one unlocked. Now the final one is yet another part that may need you guys to actually progress the story just a little bit further. It is still within that like 5, 6, maybe 7 hour mark, maybe a little longer depending on how much exploration you've done. But this area on the map here, you're going to need the electro dart from BD1, which is a skill that you unlock later on in the story. All you need to do is essentially shoot BD1's dart at this little port here. Once you've charged that up, it will then unlock the red chest on the other side of that little gap there, and in that will be the 5th part of the hunter outfit. Now I believe there is a 6th part, and I will keep you guys updated on that. I haven't actually found it yet. If you guys do know where it is, be sure to leave it down in the comments. But the 6th one that you get will just be the colors for the hunter shirt, which is pretty much just underneath the actual jacket, and the color change won't really affect the outfit that much anyway. Now, next on the list for me personally is easily the best unlock in this entire video. It's one of the coolest lightsabers you guys can find in the entire game, and it's actually the one that I rock in my own version of the game. Now, what you guys want to do is you want to head to the Fort Carlin meditation point. You want to follow the path that I'm taking here, and what I would say is actually you want to go to the area first. You want to clear out the enemies, and then you want to come back and do what I'm about to show you guys. So head to the area that you guys can see here. There will be enemies in here, and you want to clear them out just to make it a little bit easier. Now once you've cleared them out, you want to go back pretty much where you came from. You will find this little like almost hangar section, and there's a bunch of roller mines in there. Now you only need one, depending on how close to them you actually go. There will be literally like 7 or 8 that will follow you though, so just be aware of that. But all you want to do is just make them follow you all the way back to where I just showed you guys. The fact that you will have just cleared out the enemies makes it a lot easier, because once they start attacking you, the roller mines will actually sort of target them instead, and then they can all blow up, and you're going to pretty much have to restart this. Now once you get in there, you just want to pick up that roller mine, throw it at this door here, and that will unlock another section to this cave, where in this chest you guys can find Santari Khri's lightsaber, the entire lightsaber, not just one little section. It is the entire lightsaber that you guys unlock. It is a really cool white and gold High Republic themed lightsaber, and in my opinion is probably one of the coolest ones you guys can find in the game. Technically speaking, you can unlock this as soon as you get to Kobo, so if you guys are looking for a cool lightsaber, definitely head over and check this one out. Now the last one we have on the list here is a little bit of a spoiler. Now, it's not a main story spoiler, so don't worry about that, but it is more of a spoiler for anyone that played Fallen Order and maybe just wants to find some hidden enemies on their own. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you're not too worried about that and not too worried about which mini bosses are in the game, then you can definitely keep on watching. If you don't want spoilers, then I do appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to leave a like on your way out. But with that being said, let's get stuck into it. So you want to head back to Fort Carlin, where I just showed you guys, and you want to take this path that you can see on screen. Now, you'll come across a bunch of battle droids. You just want to take them out, and then on this little like platform area, you'll see a shiny priorite shard. When you go and collect that, what is going to happen is you're going to fall down into this pretty much death trap, and yes, in there is an Ogdo. Now, it's not Ogdo Bogdo, it is technically called a spawn of Ogdo, but this thing is essentially Ogdo Bogdo. It's very, very tough, it is not easy to kill, and so this one is definitely a little bit of a challenge. Now, if you guys can manage to kill Ogdo, there is then a chest at the very back of that cave, and in that chest is the pink Poncho from Jedi Fallen Order. This is absolutely hilarious that they put this into the game. It was such a meme back in the days of Fallen Order, and if you guys enjoyed that, you can equip it in Jedi Survivor. Now, it not only comes with the pink Poncho, but there's actually 6 different options here. So if you are a Poncho connoisseur, then enjoy. You have just unlocked the objectively best cosmetic in the game, and you will have defeated a pretty awesome boss to actually get it too. So that is all of the early unlocks that I wanted to show you guys today. Some of these are very helpful in terms of the stim, some of them are canonically accurate in terms of the pink poncho and the mullet, and then the rest of them are also just pretty cool outfits. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, then be sure to hit that like button, and if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe with those notifications on, because I will be doing more videos like this. I'm actually going to go through some more like mid to late game unlocks that you guys can find. There are some crazy hidden cosmetics in this game, some awesome throwbacks to different eras of Star Wars and stuff like that, so be sure to keep an eye on the channel. But with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and may the force be with you always.